So, today's story is how I almost bought a Baptist church. So, my favorite thing to do with ADHD is to look at houses on Zillow. That's my favorite thing to do, and I just look at houses on Zillow all the time. I usually look at houses way too expensive that have like 8 rooms and 15 bathrooms. Stuff that's like over $1 million that I can't afford. It's fun. Well, one day I just decided I was going to do something that I could probably afford in like 3 years. I was like, you know what? Let's get realistic. Well, I entered a price in that said it was $75,000. I was like, yeah, let's see what. I was also checking out what the cheapest houses were. Well, I get on there. I find a Baptist church. It's white and red, and it's got a little awning and everything, and it looks really good in the pictures. It does. It looks super good. So I start planning. I have like many pages in my notebook dedicated to planning and what I was going to do. I was going to buy it, and then I was going to get ordained in Catholicism, and I'm not Catholic, by the way. And you'll learn about that later. But I'm not Catholic. But I was going to get ordained in Catholicism. And I was going to marry people, have weddings there. I was going to get one of my friends to be a photographer there, one of my friends to sing at the wedding, some other friends, because I'm a music major, to do like a little band for the wedding, maybe a DJ, somebody to bake, do baking cakes, and yeah, I was going to decorate it. I was also going to set up a cemetery, like a fake cemetery that I keep all year round for Halloween, so I could do haunted trails. I had many ideas with this. I was going to hold little small bands from Delta City, like small bands in where the worship room would be, where the pews are and stuff. I was going to have little concerts in there. I was going to take the pews out, probably sell them, put some in my office space so I could just keep them, and make it a mosh pit. I was also, I was going to paint the church black for gothic reasons. I had lots of plans for this church. I was so excited to buy this church. I told so many people, guys, found this church on Zillow. I'm gonna buy. And I started saving up for it. I got a pretty good amount of money saved up for it. I was so excited. Well, it looked fine in the pictures. So one day, me, my friend Wendy, and my friend Haley, we all spent the night at our apartment and everything. We're just vibing. We were having our like once every blue moon sleepover, just like having a good time, eating, planning, whatever. And I decided, I was like, hey guys, can I show you about the church I want to buy? And they were like, why do you want to buy a church? And I was like, why do I not want to buy a church? Oh, I had plans to live in this church too. It was going to be my home. It was going to be like a studio home that I live in. I was going to live in one of the offices. There was 2 offices. There was 2 bathrooms. And then there was the, main area where church is held, like everything, where the pastor preaches and stuff. And I was just gonna that's where I was gonna have the concerts and stuff. But I was going to live there too and just hold events and stuff. That was the goal. So I bring it up to them and I was like, guys, can I show you the church? They were also going to be Haley was going to be in the band. She was going to play trumpet, and Wendy was going to be a singer there. So I also had all the wages figured out and stuff for the church so I could give people money and everything. I had that figured out, and I was going to figure out how to do that, but I already had how much I'd pay people and stuff, and how much the wedding venues would be, and what all, and take like private suggestions if they wanted a theme or whatever. Had it all figured out. Oh, and that was catering too. But yeah, so I was like, hey, Wendy, hey, Haley, you want to see this church I want to buy? And they were like, yeah, of course we want to see the church you want to buy. So I get on Zillow and I show them the church I was going to buy. And they're like, that's kind of sketchy. And Haley told me her house is still listed on Zillow and she's lived there for like 4 years. So she was like, I don't really trust it. We would have to go look. So we decided we were going to go look. And so we leave the apartment and we just drive around town looking for where the church is. And it's in this ghetto. Well, it's in like this terrible little area and everything. It was very creepy. There was houses like on the church property. You know how churches usually they have their own little set, and then houses like a little farther away from them. No, it was like in the same area with like 3 houses. It was in the whole neighborhood. It was sketchy. It was like some of the glass was broken, and like we looked inside of it, not too good. There was like feral cats, which I don't mind the cats. I would have kept the cats. I would have like 8 cats. I have 3, but I would have had like 8. But it was just not good. I went home and cried a lot, and I had to tell all my friends, sorry, I will not be buying this church. I'm really sad. I literally had my hopes up. Like, I was so excited to buy a church. My goal is to still buy a church. I want to buy one of those Catholic churches that have the pipe organs in them. I love them. But my goal one day is to buy a church and live in it. That would be my home. Maybe not the first home I buy, but once I make money and can afford a church, I want to buy a church and live in it. That's the goal. Even if I don't do wedding plans or whatever, I just want to live in a church. And I'm really sad that I couldn't buy this little old rinky-dink Baptist church and turn it into this weird dream that I had. But it's okay. But if you guys ever see cheap churches for sale, preferably Catholic, please hit me up because I really want to buy a church. I always want to buy a church. But yeah, that's the story about how I almost bought a church this past year.